After creating a blog or website, you want to make sure the intended audience is seeing it. For your website to be served to your audience, you would want your page to be listed within the first page of search results. This will require some optimizations on your part so that search engines like Google give more authority to your pages over others. There are multiple aspects of such optimization for SEO, like technical, content, and user experience enhancements. Today, we'll be looking at technical SEO optimizations using Next.js. Okay, let's get started. Understanding meta tags. Search engines make use of crawlers to learn more about your website, and this information is provided to these crawlers mostly via the various meta tags which you place on your websites. Let's look at them one by one. For the purpose of this demo, I created a simple blog on Next.js for showing you all the implementations. This is like a regular blog post site with a homepage and a list of blogs. If you click on a blog topic or read more, you are directed to the blog page from where you can read the entire post. I'm using dummy API services available to display the data to mimic the network call made to your backend service. First off, we have title and description meta tags. Head over to layout.js file in your root directory. This is where you can set the title and description for the entire website. We will set a title and description here. However, you might want to also put in other pages with their page-specific title and description tags. Up later, I'll also show you how you can create a template to keep few elements like website names consistent throughout different pages even while the page title changes. Simply export a constant object called metadata with element titles and description. Save it. Now head over to the website and do inspect elements. And on the head tag, you can see two meta tags, one with title and other with its description. We can also see the title of a page has changed in the browser. Up next, we have the keywords tag. Keywords provide additional context to search engines about the content of your page. However, it's important that you avoid repetitive keywords on each page to prevent keyword cannibalization, which simply means it can confuse search engine crawlers about your page's content, which in turn dilutes your page's authority and ultimately lower your overall ranking. Keywords also have similar placements like title and description. You can put a few in the root layout.js file and also add page-specific keywords to every endpoints page.js file. If we check in the browser's element tab, we can see the keywords meta tag present there. You can add such meta tags to all the pages with relevant titles, descriptions, and keywords. For example, here, we are adding it to our About page. But it's also possible, for example, we have blog posts which are dynamically fetched from our backend server. You would want to generate these values dynamically at runtime. This leads to our next method, which is dynamic meta tags. We can add it by using the generate metadata function. For this, we move to our blogs page. From there, we export an async function generate metadata. This will take ID of your blog page as parameter, since we'll do a fetch to get the relevant information about the blog post. Now we have our blog object. If a valid object response is not received, we return a not found object with title and description as not found. Else, if the blog object returns a valid response, we return relevant title and description. Now let's head over to the browser and open any blog post. Upon inspection, you can see that the title and description has been updated by the values as returned from the server. This is dummy data here in this example, returned from the dummy API we are using. It will show you your valid blog post title and description when you fetch using your endpoint. Next up, we have templates, about which I mentioned earlier as well. Templates allow you to maintain consistent format across pages. Head over to your root layout.js file. We'll remove the title key value pair and replace it with the key object pair. Title key will have an object with default value and template. Here the percentage acts as a placeholder and it gets replaced with the actual title value. Let's see how it looks on our site. As you can see, the title changes along with the pipe we added as a template. If we look at the inspect element tab as well, we'll see the title tag is updated, obviously. Here's a pro tip for you. Next.js works with server-side rendering, so working with elements which require interactive state storage, you might be required to add a use client directive at the top of your page. But with this directive, you will not be able to add meta tags as it might throw an error. To fix this, select your block of code which requires client-side running interaction and move it to a component of its own under Components folder. Import this component to your main page, and now you can safely remove the use client directive from this page and use meta tags. Canonical tags. Before delving into its implementation, let's discuss what they are and why they are required. A canonical URL helps to prevent duplicate content issues by specifying the canonical or preferred version of a web page. These issues can pop up when you have multiple versions of the same page. Adding a canonical tag is very straightforward. In the metadata object, add a new key called alternates. This key should point to an object. In this nested object, add a key canonical with its value as the complete URL of your page, which you want to instruct the search engine crawlers to read. If you don't wish to add the complete address of your web page to every meta tag, you can add a meta database object to your root layout.js file, with its value being the new URL instance with your base URL passed to it. Now you can safely remove the base URL from your canonical alternates in the individual pages. Heading over to the browser inspect element, we see that canonical tag has been added with href value guiding the web crawlers to your preferred destination. Languages tag. If you support multiple languages for your pages, you can tell the web crawlers and browsers where to find relevant language versions of your page by specifying languages meta tags. For this, we add another key value pair in the same alternates object. We create a languages object, put the language code and the relative URL of your web page with the supported language. Inspect element tab, and you can spot your alternate tag with your language code specified with the URL there. Next, we have verification tags. You might be required to verify your domain ownership for Google Search Console. For that, Google will provide you with a verification key which you can place in your meta tags for the verification process to complete. Next.js provides support for such meta tags. Head over to your metadata object and add a verification object. Inside it, add Google. For its value, put Google-site-verification with an equal sign. Place your verification key or token here after the equal sign. And that's it. We can now inspect in our browser to see that the meta tag with the verification key has been added. Next, we have favicons. Favicons are small icons which we see along with titles in browser tabs. Adding a favicon to your site is crucial for branding and helps users easily identify your website in their browser tabs. To add a new favicon, you will need to generate one, which is nothing but a .ico file for your brand logo. There are many tools available out there to help you with this. We'll do a Google search and select this realfavicongenerator.net. It's quite straightforward from here. Just upload your logo, scroll to the bottom and click on Generate Your Favicon and HTML code button. It will process to create the graphics you need. Once done, it will show you an option to download favicon package. Now when you unzip this file, you will see there are a lot of files. We just copy the favicon.ico file and paste it into the root directory of our project. Structured data. Using structured data helps search engines understand your content better and can enhance your listings in search results with rich snippets. In Next.js, you can add structured data as a script in the head of your document. We use Next.js script component to load our script. Note, the type here is application/ld plus JSON. Now we put the JSON object of a structured data. We use two curly braces here, one inside the code and other outside it. You can always validate if your object is correctly added using any structured data validation tool like that of schema.org. You can directly fetch from your website by providing your web page's URL or copy-pasting the object. We can see our object is fine with 0 errors and 0 warnings. Here's a list of all the structured data markup that Google Search supports. You can find the exact structure and all guidelines for creating a structured data object here. I'll attach the link to this site in the description below. One more thing we often tend to forget while adding all the SEO-friendly stuff to our site is that if your site loads faster, more people will want to visit it. This signals the search engine of your website's reliability to be listed on the first page of their results. So make your site faster and lightweight. There are a host of optimizations which you can do to ensure your site loads faster. For example, using Next.js image tag or loading your heavy assets from a CDN so that they load faster. I can create a dedicated video for this. Please let me know if you'd like to know more about it. Open graph tags. Often while sharing links, you might have seen a preview of the page opening up. This is achieved using Open Graph tag. Open Graph meta tags are used to control how your content is displayed when shared on social media platforms. Adding open graph images can significantly enhance the visibility and click-through rates of your shared content. For our example here, let's say we want to create a previewable view of our blog post. Let's create a file alongside our page.js file in our post directory. We add a ESLint directive at the top to ignore the img warning tag we'll be using here. Then we import image response from next/og. If you're using previous versions of Next.js, you might be required to import from next/server. Then we export our content type, which is img/png. We then define our OG function. This OG function will first fetch the required blog post. Using this data, we'll create a response to be returned. We return the image response type we imported earlier. In this function, the first parameter is the design of our preview, and the next parameter is its size. And that's it. Now, since this page is not hosted, so I cannot show you a preview of it. But if we inspect the Elements tab, we see our meta tags with OG properties of title, description, and images. If your site is hosted, you can check it by sharing in any of the social media platforms. Next, we have sitemap.xml. A sitemap.xml file helps search engines understand the structure of your website and find all your pages. You can generate both static and dynamic sitemaps in Next.js. Create a file sitemap.js in your app directory. Here we export default async function sitemap. This function will return all the URLs of our website along with the last updated field. For dynamic URLs like that of blog post, we fetch the list of blogs. Since for this example there is no such endpoint, I'll create a dummy list of blog posts. Let me comment this fetch request. Now we loop through all our blog posts and return the URL and last updated objects list. Last updated can be the date of the blog post creation. I don't have it, so I'll take the current date time. Now we spread this list in our main function's return statement. In the browser, if you go to your site.com or localhost in this case, /sitemap.xml, you can see the XML file of all your endpoints as required by the search engines. Finally, we have robots.txt file. Robots.txt file tells search engine which pages or sections of your site they should or should not crawl. This can happen if there are certain protected routes like admin pages which you don't wish the crawlers to scan through. For example, let's create a protected page of our website here. This is our page which we don't want to be indexed by search engines. We export metadata like other pages and specify a property robots. Put an index inside it and set it to false. Now, if we go to inspect elements, we can see a meta tag with the name as robot and its content set to no index, which means web crawlers will know this page isn't supposed to be indexed. There are a host of other options which can be added like follow false. You can have specific instructions for Google's bot if you want them to index it. You can also specify if it can be cached or archived. We see all these properties reflected in our Inspect Element tab. With this, we have covered all the important technical SEO optimizations which you should have on your website to increase the overall ranking of your page. Let me know in the comments below if I have missed anything. Also, if I come across any other important optimizations, I'll create another dedicated video for you, so you may consider subscribing. If you got any value from this video, please drop me a like. See you next time. Peace.